Ariel Helwani in Denver gearing up for UFC 135 alongside Big Ben Rothwell, who faces Mark Hunt this Saturday night live on pay-per-view. And Ben, it's good to see you again. It has been a while. First things first, how does it feel to be back UFC week? And you haven't fought in a long time, so how does it feel to be back here just a few days away from your next fight?
I'm very excited. I was excited, right after my last fight, and that was a year ago. And I can't believe how much has happened in just a year already with our sport. And to be a part of it and to be a part of what's going on has been very motivating for me in my recovery. I don't even want to say that I don't even feel like I'm the same person now. I really do. I feel like in 1 year I've really made some major changes, and it's going to be pretty obvious September 24th what I'm talking about.
For those who have been out of the loop, why were you out for so long?
During my Gilbert-Ivel fight last year, UFC 115, in the very first round I basically blew up my ACL and continued to fight for for a full 3 rounds, and probably added to my recovery time by doing so. But I had to do what I had to do, and I ended up getting a decision win that I wasn't happy about. But like I said, I was fighting on one leg, so I did what I did, and now I've been recovering. It took me a few months to get so I was walking again, and now I've basically since January been training for this fight. So this is by far the longest training camp I've ever had.
You also are recovering from a deviated septum, right?
Yeah, I got kicked. I mean, that's not so major. I got kicked in the nose in the fight, and they had to fix my nose. Not too big of a deal.
I guess for someone like me, it would be a big deal, but for someone like you, it's just a walk in the park, right?
Yeah, it's not so bad.
So, I mean, you say that you're going to be a different fighter. Why different? I mean, you seem a lot slimmer than you have been in the past. So, is that part of what you're talking about?
Yeah, I think right there shows that you don't just that just doesn't happen on its own. It's obviously the hard work I've been putting in. A lot of people have noticed. My training camp's been awesome. I got trained with Duke Rufus and Ben Askren, and I have Luis Claudio, my jiu-jitsu coach. He's a Rickson Gracie black belt. Put those 3 together, I have one of the best camps I've ever had. And then I've got some gigantic training partners. I'm just in a really great place right now. I have my own gym, along with working with these other 3 coaches in their gyms. And just the whole Midwest right now, it's like a connection, and it's just a very exciting time for me. I got a lot going on.
It's interesting you mentioned training with Duke Rufus, because I talked to Pat Barry about leaving Duke Rufus's camp, and he said he just couldn't find enough big guys there to train with. You say you're training with giants, so where are you getting these big guys from?
Yeah, it just depends on how you want to look at it. Like I've got my training partner's right over there. He's bigger than me. He walks around at 335, 340, and moves lightning fast. So it's a great training partner to have. And I also am known, unlike a lot of heavyweights, I work and roll with the 155s, the 185s. I work with all weight classes. I like to work off my back. I work on top. I can work with different weight class guys and not hurt them through my size and just being it's a common problem with the bigger guys. As soon as they get tired, they get reckless and they hurt somebody. And obviously I've been doing this for a while, so I've learned how to utilize everybody. And you'll never learn the technique that you can working with the smaller guys. The big guys just don't do those things. But you got to have big training partners too, because you got to deal with the weight and the size. So I was managed to find just a couple good quality training partners, along with all the other guys at Duke's gym and Ben's gym and everywhere else I'm training with. It's great. I've got like 30 training partners, so I just utilize whatever I have and I make the best of it. If you're gonna see someone looks at a situation, you can either look at it and turn it into a good thing and be positive, or you can just, no matter how good the situation is, you can make it bad. You can be negative, and it's not going to work for you, and then you should leave. So it's all about what's in your mind.
You seem to also have a sort of like a new outlook on your career here, just a more positive outlook, and just sort of like almost like starting a new chapter here in your career. Would you agree with that?
I agree that I'm definitely coming into this fight. I'm 0-0. This Ben Rothwell is 0-0 coming to the UFC. It's my debut. Hello.
Well, it's good to meet you, Mr. Ben Rothwell. We hear good things. So do you feel as though the division has sort of kind of like left you hanging a bit? Like you said, a lot of things have happened, a lot of new faces, a lot of new contenders. Do you feel as though you're sort of the new kid on the block here?
For sure. I mean, a lot of people look at my past fights and they can try to evaluate where they think I'm at or what I'm about. And it's going to take this fight and the next few fights, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, now we see where he's at in the mix. all the talent, all the heavyweight talent from the different organizations has now been pooled together. The heavyweight division is stacked like it never has been before. I think it's definitely the strongest it's ever been, and you know, it's not just a few good fighters. There's like a top 20 list now for the heavyweight division. There's a lot of serious competition, and now's the time to make a name for yourself. Now's the time to get some wins against some names.
What do you make of Mark Hunt? Obviously, he had a big win in Australia. He needed that win. He was riding a long losing streak, but the ground game has always been his weakness. You are good on the ground. To you, is that still the glaring hole in Mark Hunt's game?
It's obvious. Every single interview I've done, they've asked that. I mean, Mark Hunt, out of 7 losses, 6 of them were lost to a submission. It's obvious that he needs to work on it. I'm sure he's trying to work on it, but it's just one of those things where you just can't make it up in a few months or even a year. Like, he's got some serious disadvantages, and through that makes him a little more dangerous on the feet. Then he's going to feel like he's going to deal with the elevation, his conditioning's weak, and he's going to throw reckless, he's going to throw hard, and the guy's got very good stand-up for sure. But I believe that I have a far more well-rounded game, and if this fight does go longer than the first round, which I don't think it will, I know I'm gonna break him apart. He's gonna fall apart in front of me, but I honestly don't think it's gonna go that far. I just think that I have too many skills and too many ways to win, and I just got to go out and execute.
How do you see it finishing?
That's for September 24th, and that's why you want to tune in and watch.
All right, good tease there. The return of Big Ben Rothwell goes down this Saturday night, live on pay-per-view against Mark Hunt, a huge heavyweight fight. We're looking forward to it. Welcome back, sir.
Appreciate it very much, sir. Thank you.